Hey guys, this is test 38 game 4. This is the musician's performance game. It's an ordering game. We've got the 5 songs, N, O, S, T, and V, and we're placing them in order from 1 through 5. Now we see that each song has 2 instruments associated. N has FL, O has HM, etc. And we have 2 instruments for each song, and each instrument goes twice. So we have F on N and T, G on T and S, etc. They give us only 2 rules for this game. They tell us that each song shares an instrument with the one before it, after it, or both. So I just wrote down for that share before, after, or both. You could put down nothing at all. I actually prefer to put down nothing at all for this and just refer back to the text when necessary for this rule because it's so ambiguous, but it's really up to you. Then we've got that either N or T is performed second. So very little in the way of rules for this game. We will have to do more over the course of the game itself, but I actually do create 2 different main diagrams for the game based upon whether we have N on 2 or T on 2, because we know that N is FL and we know that T is FG. So if we had N on 2 with FL, we'd have to have a song with F or L on 1, and if we had T on 2, then we'd have to have a song with F or G on 1. So we lay out 2 different possibilities for the game based upon this rule. So these are the 2 main possibilities for the game. Now I'll just jump into the questions right away and we'll see that the first one right there is an orientation question for number 20. So we'll just take one rule at a time and apply that rule to all 5 choices looking for violations. Of course, the simplest is, do we have either N or T on 2, as those are the only 2 possibilities for the game. Scanning through the choices, we see that choice A has S on 2 rather than N or T, so choice A is eliminated for number 20. Next, we could take, the whole sharing thing. Of course, there are no problems with TN, VN, NT, or ST. Each of the 4 choices remaining has one of those things. So next, I would look at choice 5, song 5, because just like song 1 is an endpoint and therefore has to share with whatever's on 2, song 5 is an endpoint, so it has to share with whatever's on 4. Of course, song 3 could share with either 2 or 4 on either diagram. We don't know where it's going, but song 5 is an endpoint just like song 1 is, so it has to share with the only song adjacent to it. So as we scan through the choices, we see that choice C right here has S, V on 4 and 5. Of course, S and V share nothing. S has GH, V has LM. So choice C is bad for that reason, and as such, must be eliminated. We also see for choice E, we have OT there. O has HM, T has FG. They are sharing nothing. That's unacceptable. So for that reason, choice E must be eliminated, because whatever was on song 5 was not sharing with whatever was on song 4. Now we're down to B and D. A little bit tougher because looking at B, V and N do share. They both have L there. So for that reason, B is okay on that issue. But if we look at the third slot, O, on choice B, O does not share with N. See, O has HM, N has FL, they share nothing. And then O and T on 3 and 2 are also sharing nothing. So for that reason, B is bad, leaving D by elimination for number 20. Next, number 21, what can't be shared by the 3rd and 4th pieces? So if we scan through our songs and instruments here, we see that, of course, N is FL and T is FG. And there are only 2 F songs in the game, as there are only 2 songs for any instrument. Each instrument is only appearing on 2 songs. So if we already have F on 2 for certain, it would be impossible to have F be on both 3 and 4 as well. Even if we chose V for 1 and we chose S for 1 on the bottom diagram, not using up the other remaining F song, even if we put like T on 3 and N on 3 in the bottom diagram, giving us another F song for 3, we still wouldn't be able to have an F song on 4 as well. We already would have used up N and T, the only 2 F songs on slots 2 and 3. So for that reason, A, the flute, is the only instrument that cannot be on both 3 and 4 because we're already using up one of those instrument songs on slot 2 for certain. If each piece shares an instrument with the piece immediately after it, so they are further restricting the initial possibilities for the game. So I would actually now lay out the beginnings of 4 different main diagrams based upon the 4 possibilities for the game. Tn on 1, 2, Vn on 1, 2, Nt or St. Use those as my 4 starting points for the game. I'll just use these diagrams here as the starting point. So I'm going to put Tn on top, Vn as the second, Nt as the third possibility, and St as the fourth possibility. So Tn on the top right here, just laying out my 4 specific diagrams for this question. Tn is Fg followed by Fl. So we've already used up the 2 F songs. We need another L song to follow. That would be V. So N and V are sharing L. Moving forward on this, V has LM, so I'm going to put O on 4, and then the only song remaining is S. And O and S share G. So we are good, or they share H, I'm sorry. So TNVOS is a valid scenario. I'm going to run through the choices, see if we get any hits. We don't have V on 1, we don't have S on 2, nor do we have O on 3, N on 4, or T on 5. So no hits. TNVOS is a valid scenario, but it is still not useful for this question. I'll move on to the next possibility with Vn. So V and N are sharing L. Now we have to move forward. N and T can share F. That works. Moving forward, we've already used up the 2 Fs there, so T has Fg. Moving forward, at 4 will be S, and 5 will be O, and S and O are sharing H, so we're good once again. T and S, of course, we're sharing G. So V, N, T, S, O, scanning through the choices A to E, V, S, O, and T. Do we have any hits? Yeah, we have a hit with V on 1. This scenario works, so for that reason, choice A is our answer for number 22, and no need to go through the rest. Next, number 23. Each could be the piece performed first, except. Well, we've got T, V, N, and S, so for that reason, those can automatically be eliminated. And so all that leaves is choice B, O. All the others, T, V, and S, are all gone. So B by elimination, of course, there are only 5 variables anyway. Next, number 24. If S is on 5, what could be true? Well, of course, we're not going to do the scenario from the main diagram where S is on 1, because S has to be on 5. So we have 3 diagrams resulting. We can have S on 5 with T on 1, S on 5 with N with a V on 1, or S on 5 with N on 1. So using the beginnings of our main possibilities, it could be Tn on 1, 2, it could be Vn on 1, 2, or it could be Nt on 1, 2 with S on 5 for each of those. So then we could either have O on 3 on the top possibility, O3 V4, or V3 O4. On the second, we could have OT on 3, 4, or TO on 3, 4. Again, I'm not evaluating these for compliance with the rule about sharing before, after, or both. I'll deal with that later. On the bottom scenario, we've got O3 on NV4, or V3 and O4 as the 2 possibilities there. So I have not checked each of these for validity. Of course, it's entirely possible that some of these will not work. In fact, some of them definitely don't work, as we'll see later. But for now, I just want to see if I happen to get any hits or I can eliminate anything. So could we have N on 3? As you see, N is either on 2 or 1 in these possibilities, which are the only valid possibilities for the game. So for that reason, A is gone. O on 3, maybe. T on 4, maybe. V on 1, maybe. V on 2, no hits. So for that reason, E is gone. We've gotten rid of 2 possibilities already. Now from there, we just have to check whether each of these works. So could we have V on 4 and S on 5? So S does have to share with V because they are, and S is an endpoint. So S has to share with whatever comes immediately before it. S is GH and V is LM. So for that reason, anything with V on 4 is a no-go, and we get to eliminate 2 of these possibilities off the bat. Now I'll check to see whether the other stuff works. So could O and V share? O and S share, I'm sorry. O and S share. Yeah, O and S both have H. So this is looking good so far, but is V sharing with anybody here? V has LM. N has FL, so yes, this is good. This is a valid scenario. I'll check through the choices. N on 3, no go. O on 3, no go. Could we have T on 4? No, we don't. Do we have V on 1? No, we don't. So this scenario is valid but not helpful. I'll look at the next one now. T and S, could they share? Yeah, they share G. Could O and S share? Yeah, they share H. That's looking pretty good. So both of these seem valid so far. I just want to make sure that whatever's on 3 is sharing with whatever's on 2 and 4. Because O and T do not share anything. Therefore, O and T have to share with N in order for this to work. N is FL, O is HM, no sharing there. So for that reason, O on 3 is isolated. It's not sharing with N before it, and it's also not sharing with T after it. So O3, T4 doesn't work. However, VNTOS, that works perfectly fine because T is sharing with N, O is sharing with S, so VNTOS is good, and V on 1 is our answer, choice D. That works, and we're good for this game.